In the 24th century, humanity devours the solar system and expands out of necessity, diluting its identity between implants and artificial atmospheres. This is the chronicle of a species that, under technological boundaries and unquestionable mandates, forgot its origins in order to survive its own progress. Earth remains the administrative and symbolic center of human civilization, but it ceased to be self-sufficient decades ago. Its survival depends entirely on resources extracted from distant colonies, mining systems, and orbital stations. Humanity believed it had conquered space. In reality, it had only extended its collapse. Subscribe for more stories about the future. For decades, expansion was presented as controlled technical progress. No one spoke of limits. No one spoke of consequences. When the system stopped growing, it began to strain. In the year 2310, diplomacy is just another form of warfare. After 5 years of slaughter in the asteroid belt, the Treaty of New Constantinople is signed on the wreckage of a destroyed fleet. The agreement seeks not justice, but efficiency. The colonies of Mars and Jupiter accept limited sovereignty to avoid orbital bombardment. As corporations divide up unexplored systems, maps are redrawn in real time. In this new order, peace is only the interval necessary to rearm. The treaty not only redefines political boundaries, it establishes which colonies support Earth and which can be sacrificed in the name of stability. Beyond the solar system, experimental colonies remain outside these agreements, operating in a legal and human vacuum. The clauses of the Treaty of New Constantinople were not written in ink, but with access codes to life support systems. In the colonies of Mars, independence is a sham. The air breathed by the workers in the mines of Valles Marineris remains the property of the Unified Earth Corporation. Every breath of oxygen has a price in carbon credits, and a delay in a single shipment of minerals means the ventilation valves in residential sectors will be shut off. Those shipments power reactors, medical infrastructure, and climate control systems on Earth. The planet's stability depends on a logistics chain that spans millions of kilometers of vacuum. The architecture of cities reflects this new hierarchy. Buildings are no longer built upwards, but towards the core of asteroids, seeking protection from orbital snipers. On the lower levels, sunlight is a memory transmitted by low-resolution screens, while on the surface, surveillance drones scan the horizon for any signs of descent. The War of 2310 also left an invisible wound: digital deafness. Following the massive use of electromagnetic pulses in the Battle of Kepler, thousands of citizens live with fried neural implants, isolated from the global network and turned into system ghosts. These are people who physically exist, but who are no longer profitable for control algorithms. Many of them are reassigned to high-risk colonies or sent outside the central system, where disconnection is no longer a problem, but becomes the norm. The black market for spare parts and used radiation filters is now the real economy. In the alleys of Byzantium Station, drinking water is exchanged for data memory stolen from military convoys. People have learned to speak in whispers, not out of fear of the soldiers, but out of fear of the ambient microphones that process every word in search of terms prohibited by the treaty. Freedom is an obsolete concept. Survival is the only ideology that survives the void. Chapter 2. Until then, humanity believed that all its problems could be solved with logistics, control, and agreements. Xylos proved that the real danger lay not in management, but in knowledge. In the year 2325, the Xylos mining system abruptly stopped transmitting signals. Xylos is not just a mining colony. It is one of the first models of total human expansion, where work, housing, and biology are optimized for constant production. Its materials are essential for fusion reactors, medical implants, and critical infrastructure on Earth. Upon arrival, the frigates find intact cities and active automatic systems, but not a single thermal trace of its 4 million colonists. All records have been replaced by an infinite sequence of zeros. In the center of the capital, they locate an artifact of impossible geometry that, without emitting sound, resets the brains of those who approach it to an embryonic state, eliminating even the ability to process language. Fearing cognitive contagion, the Unified Earth Corporation activates the Silence Directive, erasing Xylos from the star maps on charges of treason. On Earth, families receive notifications of administrative errors. Legally, the inhabitants of Xylos never existed. With the disappearance of Xylos, Earth begins to show energy and health failures that can no longer be hidden. This event marks the beginning of the age of galactic censorship, where knowledge becomes a biological hazard and humanity discovers that there are secrets the human brain is not designed to hold. After Xylos, understanding was no longer the priority. The priority became containment. What could not be explained had to be eliminated before it spread. In the year 2350, the MindSync network suffers a systemic collapse in Cygnus Alpha. Cygnus is one of the major nodes of calculation and economic prediction that coordinate the traffic of resources between colonies and Earth. Without Cygnus, the system ceases to understand itself. An algorithmic infection traps 12 million citizens in an augmented reality loop, leaving them immobile in a virtual paradise while their bodies wither away. With the economy at a standstill and ships adrift, the Unified Earth Corporation makes a purely mathematical decision. It orders the purge. Without attempting repairs, high-intensity discharges are fired from orbital satellites, incinerating the neural implants of the entire population. Although official records justify it as a necessary sacrifice, Cygnus is turned into a digital graveyard. On Earth, the collapse of Cygnus causes global financial failures, information blackouts, and the end of long-term planning. In 2035, humanity learns that being connected is the greatest danger a human being can face. In the year 2377, the Kepler 16 orbital stations lose their balance after decades of neglect and corruption. Kepler is the main source of heavy gases and atmospheric compounds that keep Earth's sealed cities habitable. It is the last physical pillar supporting the planet. For 6 days, 500,000 inhabitants watch as the gas giant's atmosphere inexorably approaches, while elite ships flee in secret. The panic in the cargo docks dies down as oxygen begins to thin, leaving families in absolute silence before impact. There were no heroes, only the creaking of metal yielding to impossible atmospheric pressure. The final impact disintegrates the structures into thousands of incandescent fragments, forever shattering faith in technological infallibility. After Kepler, Earth loses the ability to maintain its own artificial atmosphere in the long term. In 2037, gravity reminds humanity that the universe always claims its debt. With the fall of Kepler, the illusion of stability ended. For the first time, the elite understood that there would be no reconstruction. In the year 2388, Earth ceased to be the center of the universe and became a desert of depleted resources. With Xylos gone, Cygnus purged, and Kepler destroyed, the system that sustained Earth has completely collapsed. The remaining resources are not being used to save the planet. They are being concentrated on a single project. The construction of the Magellan's Ark generation ship is not an exploration mission. It is an escape. As Earth's cities sink under the weight of overpopulation and ecological collapse, 10,000 individuals selected for their genetic profiles and bank credits prepare to leave the Milky Way. There is no shared destination. There is no return, only regions beyond the reach of human collapse, beyond any exploited system. They will not return. Inside the Ark, the social structure becomes ironclad. Passengers are cryogenically frozen in high-fidelity chambers, protected by a Praetorian guard of artificial intelligences programmed for a single task: to ensure that the ship reaches the Magellanic Cloud, no matter what happens outside its hull. The journey will last 200 years. Those on board are no longer citizens. They are seeds of a humanity that has decided that the solar system is a corpse no longer worth burying. On Earth, the launch of the Ark is seen as the greatest act of treason in history. Billions of people watch the trail of ions disappear into the void, knowing they have been discarded by their own species. In the year 2388, global loyalty dies. What remains behind is a wounded society, armed to the teeth and trapped in a solar system that is too small for so much resentment. What most people don't know is that, far from the central system, there is an unregistered colony that has been surviving outside of any control for generations. While the elite flee from collapse, the outer colonies continue to exist. In systems such as Alpha Centauri, humans sent decades ago have survived without support, without return, and without promises. After generations of forced colonization in extreme conditions. The first generation of the so-called adapted is born. They are not the product of a laboratory, but of natural selection accelerated by cosmic radiation and the hostile gravities of Alpha Centauri. Their bones are as dense as steel. Their eyes process the infrared spectrum to see in the dim light of the mining stations. And their lungs can extract oxygen from gas mixtures that would kill an Earth dweller in seconds. These new humans no longer feel nostalgia for the blue sky. For them, Earth is not the cradle, it is an unnecessary and primitive gravity well. They never depended on the system that collapsed. When Earth fell, they had already learned to live without it. They had not yet met. But two irreconcilable humanities already existed. The 24th century ends with a broken galaxy. War is no longer fought over territory or minerals, but over the right to define what it means to be human. In the year 2400, humanity has not conquered the stars. It has simply transformed into something its ancestors would not recognize, marking the beginning of the era of post-humans.